Focus brought to you by IG. Crazy dollar yen market that we've been seeing over the course of the last several hours and been hitting highs in the last several hours or getting close to it that we haven't seen in 30 years. And people wondering if the crazy reversal that we'll get to in here in just a second off of these 30-year lows for yen, 30-year highs for dollar yen, is there potential intervention from the Bank of Japan at play? Don't want to necessarily speculate on whether or not there was intervention. That'll come out very soon. But I do want to dive into this price action and just show you what's been occurring, because yes, yen hits year-to-date lows as the US dollar just continues its run. And there was some job data that came out of the US stronger than expected that caused another US dollar rally here this week. And the dollar's appreciated against most major currencies. You'll note that Australian dollar is minding some new lows for the last year or so. Euro is back down to about 105. Pound is near 120. And this yen, dollar yen, has hit 150 again. But really interesting, look at the daily chart here and look at the daily candle for today, and you'll see that wick showing, hitting that 150 and then huge reversal. It almost doesn't look real. It looks like there's some kind of crazy, blip, incorrect data, but we'll show that that's the correct data in just a second. But I just want to hammer home this 150 level and how rare it is, because we've closed above it just once in the last year or so of trading. In October of 2022, there was a close just above 150 where we hit today, traded above that the next day, but closed actually significantly lower as there was some Bank of Japan intervention at that time, not confirmed quite yet for this time around. And you enter more data into this, and now we're looking at the monthly chart. Since 1990 here from IG, you have so much data on this dollar yen market and other major forex pairs, and you'll see that 150 close that we saw last year just above it, and that we hit intraday here today, that is the high since 1990. Didn't get up there in the late 90s when you saw that dollar rally in 1998. And even in those early 90s, you only see a couple of months trading above this 150 level. So more than 30 years here of price action, and we've closed above it one day, and we traded up there just earlier today. Now let's do some digging on what occurred. And here now I have the 15-minute chart, and we're going to get even more granular because we have to, because this was such a crazy move. And you still see that 15-minute bar, and that's right at 10 a.m. Eastern time when the JOLTS job opening number came out, higher than expected, positive for U.S. economy, positive for U.S. dollars and rates and everything else, and punched through the 150 level and didn't even close the 15-minute session up there before reversing all the way down to 149. And you see the wick on this market to the downside got all the way down to 147.5. So you're telling me this market hits 150, a historical extreme for the last couple of decades, and trades above it for less than 15 minutes. Not only does it spend barely any time up there, but reverses course to the tune of more than 200 pips. A lot of people thinking that this must have been Japanese intervention, which they've done before, which isn't, illegal or nefarious. It's maybe a little bit short-lived. We'll see the future price action here in the dollar yen market. But yeah, this price action looks interesting to say the least. And then doing a deeper dive, looking at, I barely bring up ever a 1 minute chart, anything really less than 15 minutes. And I had to, just to get the full extent of this move. And you see only about 5 1 minute bars, so 5 minutes above the 150 level, starting at around 10 o'clock Eastern. And then you see the reversal and getting all the way down under 147.5 in the next 5 minutes. So more than 250 pip sell off in the following 5 minutes. But you see in that 1 minute bar of, now we're at about 10:10 this morning, didn't close even the minute down under 148. Around those lows. So a quick punch lower, but did not spend a ton of time down there. Again, maybe building in on that potential story of the alleged Bank of Japan intervention. Usually you'll see that intervention be extremely swift and short-lived there, as they intervene with essentially, one big move, and then the market goes back to its normal fluctuations. And so obviously it looks like there were a lot of buyers down under 148.5, 148 and 147.5 there, as the market jumped all the way back to 149 almost immediately. And so some really interesting action here in yen, right there at its extreme lows for the last 30 years. We'll see if this was one, intervention, or two, if the Bank of Japan will continue to intervene or start intervening if they haven't already. If you're looking at the position of traders in this market, they're thinking that either the Bank of Japan will intervene to the downside in this market, or it will just organically move off of this upside extreme around 150, as we have 83% of IG clients with dollar yen positions, short that dollar, long that yen. More than 4 out of 5. This is, a pretty overwhelming majority of traders short this market. Does it mean the market has to go lower? No, absolutely not. Can it go to 150, 155, new extremes for the last 30 years? Absolutely. But majority of traders on the short side of this market. We'll see if it continues through this 30-year extreme, or if the Bank of Japan intervenes, or what happens in this very volatile forex market.